Welcome to Sweet Soul Pilates. Please remember to engage your core, protect your spine, breathe, and be sweet to you. Today we have a 12-minute core sculpt Mat Pilates class. When you're ready, come down onto your mat and we'll be taking a child's pose stretch as we open up today's class. And let's roll ourselves up and bring our arms overhead. And now we'll come onto our hands and knees. And our timer will begin as we start with some cat-cows. And now let's come down onto our forearms and then step 1 foot back at a time for our plank. This is your reminder to engage your core as if you are pulling your navel up towards your spine. Allow your breath to flow freely. And then see if you can tap one knee and the other. And let's repeat. And let's lay completely flat. And then we'll come up for a quick cobra stretch and back up onto our hands and knees. The next move will be lifting both of our knees up slightly off the mat and tapping back down to repeat. So we're lifting and tap. Your core is still engaged here. And now we'll come up onto our knees, down on our forearms. And we'll be extending our right leg, bringing our knee towards our right arm. So we're extending out, bringing that knee up and in. And now we'll switch sides, extending our left leg, still down on our forearms, lifting our left leg, bringing that knee towards our left arm, back to extension, and knee towards that arm. And now we'll come down onto our left hip with our legs slightly bent, extending our top arm. We're going to take some hip raises as we bring our arm completely overhead, all the way around, tapping down. So we're lifting our hips off the mat as we bring that arm all the way overhead. And let's extend our top leg, bringing our arm overhead again. We're going to be coming up for some taps, lifting that leg up at an angle, meeting our hand with our leg, and extending to reset. And now we'll swing around to our right hip to repeat that sequence. So legs slightly bent, extending our arm overhead as we lift our hips off of the mat and back down to repeat. And now let's extend our top leg and extend that top arm. And again, we'll be meeting our leg with our hand for some taps, lifting that leg up and returning to extension. And now we're going to come around and lay flat with our legs slightly bent, bringing both of our arms overhead. And we'll be lifting ourselves up off the mat as we tuck our chin towards our chest, raising our shoulders off the mat and back down to repeat. And let's bring both of our legs up to tabletop, hands behind our head. We're going to take some alternating elbow to knee with a leg extension. So we're extending one leg at a time as we're meeting our elbow with that opposite knee. So we're switching sides. This is your reminder to allow your breath to flow freely, breathing through any difficulty, any shaking, instead of holding your breath. And go ahead and hug your knees in. In a moment here, we'll be taking a double leg extension. So as we extend our legs, we're also extending our arms overhead with a slight lift off the mat. And hug your knees in again to repeat. And we'll bring our legs back into tabletop, hands behind our head. We're going to extend our legs out halfway and lift up towards the sky and drop halfway down and lift again. Feel free to have your head slightly lifted off the mat for an additional challenge. And let's hug our knees in briefly as we return our legs up towards the sky, raising our hands up towards the sky as well. We'll be opening up our legs into a V as we drop our hands in between that V and lift up each time. And then we'll roll ourselves up like a ball, swing ourselves around to our hands and knees for a closing child's pose stretch. And let's roll ourselves up and press back onto our arms for a quick stretch. And now we'll come to the center of our mat. And we'll raise both of our arms overhead 2 times as we take a deep breath. And that is everything for today. Pretty quick, but mighty. I will see you all soon.